everybody, welcome to this week's video, albeit a couple of days late. Sorry for that, but I had a couple of snafus along the way, which I will tell you about in the video. This week, I'm going to turn a blank very much like this to a lidded bowl. Now, I'm filming this after the project is done, so this isn't the actual piece of wood, but it's very similar. So without further ado, let's get started. Hit that like button before you forget. Let's get turning. Hello everyone and welcome again. This week's video is a couple of days late because of some problems I ran into in this project, which I will tell you about during the video. But starting off, I am communicating via hand gestures that I am at 400 RPM. This is a piece of maple from Maine. And I'm going to be making a lidded bowl. Some people call them a lidded box, but it's a bowl with a lid, really. Starting off with the Carter & Son 3/4 inch bowl gouge. All of the tools and products that I use will be listed in the video description if you want to check them out. Many of them have discount codes, so if you're in the market for any products related to wood turning or woodworking, be sure to check those out. There are some good savings there. So at this point, I'm really just trying to get a rough shape of a bowl. I'm not too worried about the cut quality at this point. Just kind of rough turning it. So I flattened the bottom and now I'm working on the curve, trying to get a little bit of a cleaner cut at this point. Stopping to check the progress and also checking on that crack that you see there. Finalizing the bottom here with the skew chisel before I start here with the parting tool to make the foot and the mortise. I get asked a lot of questions about mortise versus tenon. I use mortises more often. Not sure why, just a personal preference, I guess. I've had a few tenons break off, but as you saw, I put some Starbond CA glue in that crack to strengthen it before turning too much off, and it does really help. This Starbond product that I use is the odorless, so it's nice to not have that strong smell. After reversing the bowl and checking to see if it is in balance, starting to shape the top. First I'm flattening it so I can get a little bit of a cleaner cut and make everything very much in balance. I really need to get an apron. It's a pain in the you-know-what to clean off the shavings from sweaters and even sweatshirts. If anyone has a good recommendation for an apron, let me know. I have the cheap ones, but they're not comfortable to wear, and I don't think they help very much. But let me know if you have any ins or recommendations for websites. So at this point you can see that it's starting to look a little bit less like a regular bowl, and I'm making the curve up and the curve around to make this rounded on the corner and then opening in the middle top. I think it's much more time consuming, well, at least for me it is, to turn something like this rather than just a regular bowl, which is partly why this video came out a couple days late, but not the only reason. I'll get to the real reason here shortly. Hollowing a lidded bowl is a little bit tricky. Really establishing just the opening and then figuring out what tools are appropriate and safe to use for the hollowing process. Here I'm still using the Carter & Son bowl gouge, but once I get a little bit more into the sides, I'm using the Easy Wood No. 1 hollower. And because the No. 1 hollower is such a small tip, with something like this, it really helps the hollowing process. And it's a negative rake, so that can't hurt. Sanding starting at 120 here. I did hand sanding and power sanding from 120 to 400. Some denatured alcohol to clean the surface before applying this one coat of sanding sealer. I used the Zinsser's brand, and after that dried, this is 600 grit sandpaper to denib before applying the Axe abrasive and polishing paste. Save some money and get yourself some Axe at the same time. There is a discount code for PF Woodturning viewers, so check that out and get a great product and save money at the same time. Step 1 is the abrasive paste, which you saw me do here. The step 2 is the polishing paste from Axe. You could buy these two as a set. And it's as easy to use as you see on screen, although this is a little bit sped up for sake of the video. It doesn't take any time at all to apply. So what's this chunk of wood, you might ask? This is going to be the top, or the finial, whatever you want to call it. And this chunk of log is what slowed me down. You'll see why in a minute here, but I'm using the spindle roughing gouge to get this into balance before figuring out what the next step is. A little bit of a different view here. You can see how I move my body instead of stepping. So after making a tenon on this one, I'm using the pole saw to remove that piece, and then I'm going to mount it in the chuck. After addressing this hole, I was hoping I would be able to turn away much of this and not worry about the hole, well, the rotting part, if you will. But that wasn't the case, so I'm using some Total Boat high performance resin in the 2-to-1 and filling this with some Maui blue pigment in Total Boat. And then the next day, take off the tape and then finish turning this top. Another reason this took me a long time to finish and upload this video is because I went through about 3 iterations of this top. As you can see, this is a pretty, well, it's not huge, but it's a good size chunk of wood. And the finial was meant to be tall, but as you'll see soon, it didn't end up being that way. I got done with the tall finial and it broke just as I was about to polish it. So that was quite frustrating, but all is well. And I think I ended up with a okay top. So I cut out a lot of the video that had the other 2 iterations of what this was going to look like, but this is how it looked in the beginning. Just taking a lot of material off. and fast forward quite a bit, and this is the top. Reminds me of a, I think Parcheesi game piece. I think it was Parcheesi anyway. Gonna put some Axe abrasive and polishing paste on it and then be done. Don't go anywhere just yet. I do have some photos and some video of the final piece and a couple announcements at the end. So thank you for watching. If you've made it this far in the video, be sure to comment Parcheesi in the comment section and I will know that you watched until the end. But don't go just yet. I come back on screen to talk in a moment. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Before I show you the final piece, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Here it is. Now, a couple of notes on this one. This piece of wood and this piece of wood are not from the same log, and that was intentional. But there's a little, you probably can't see it on camera, but there's a little line right there and right there that make it almost look like it is from the same log, just obviously different shades, but both are maple. I still need to put my branding here, but I hadn't done a lidded bowl in a while, so this one, pretty happy with it. It's as far as the hollowing process, I left some weight to it, so it's not fully hollowed out. There's probably that much on each side, but still good for, you know, putting trinkets in it or whatever you're going to use it for, or just a display piece. So there you have it. I want to show you a couple of items, well, 3 or so items that I have for sale on my website. But I'm making keychains. These ones say Senior 2022, and they come in all different colors. They come with, you know, the clips and everything. Some people might use them as on their lanyard or whatever, but they're $10 on my website. Check them out. Also, I don't know if this one will be censored or not. I hope not. I hope YouTube doesn't get me in trouble. But this is one that I personally like very much. These are bubble wands. These ones say Senior 2022. And I also have some that say Portland, Maine. Last but not least, these are keychains as well. Girl mom and boy mom. Check them out on my website. And this piece will be available on my website if you're interested. It's pfwoodturning.com. Also, if you would, please show some love to the supporters of this channel, which include Total Boat, Starbond Adhesives, Glowforge, Ariat Work, Axe Wood Paste, and others. So all of those links are in the video description, and all of them have discount codes for you to save some money, anywhere from 10 to 20%. So go check them out. Until next week, you know what to say. Peace out, guys.